pictures and imagery through. So I have like hundreds of pictures. I had an alien event lecture with David online. So some of those pictures were there. I think there was like 10 I shared. There's about 2.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, everybody loved it.
So that's what I was hoping to try to teach people and show you, that you're not wasting your time when you reach out and try and make personal contact. That's what it's about now.
Mr. Ryan
If you're waiting for some hero or some government to tell you that these things exist and are accessible, then you're going to wait forever. And if they ever do tell you, it's going to be manipulated in some way to control you and control your communication. That's why it's literally, I believe it's a crime to communicate with extraterrestrials, isn't it? Isn't that on the books? If I'm not mistaken?
To contact
also
crime.
dolphins. Yeah. It's illegal to communicate with dolphins and extraterrestrials
But
they want to raise your vibration and give you free energy devices.
But in some nations, it's legal to have sex with animals, but you can't talk to them after.
That's in Canada.
Well, dolphins telepathically will give you messages about the planet.
Yeah.
And they are the only ones who have the history of planet. Sorry, I interrupt. Dolphins are the only ones who have the history of the planet for a million years. So if telepathically they tell everybody, that will blow up the whistle. That's why they don't want you to dance with dolphins and whales and,
Awesome.
And they destroyed the giant's bones. Smithsonian, what's it called, whatever. My own speaker, Italian, he came a few years ago, I forgot his name, in Sardinia. Sardinia was a giants, lived there for centuries. Hello?
I just turned you off.
And
I'm joking. It went off. I don't know what happened.
give me that.
It doesn't work.
And
I don't know why.
Dennis, your microphones don't work. Hello? They hit us again. The interference with elevators, microphones.
I think this button was.
Somebody unplugged the receiver.
I think it's right here. I think it's.
Somebody
right here.
unplugged it?
Well, it's there. Now it's
Yeah.
nobody bumped this.
We have AI interfering.
Okay, back to Rachel. Turn it on.
Okay.
So anyway, 1 second. So the guy told me his friend found giant bones on a construction site. They went to get the bones, and in Sardinia, this is not even America, bunch of agents with guns, they came over their head, they said, put it down. And I said, are you serious? They don't want to even, you guys look at the giant's bones, So that's our international espionage against alientology.
Thank you, Saeed. Are they good or bad? What do you think? Are they good ones, bad ones? Are the bad ones still here? What do you want to say?
Well, I believe that our so-called angels and creators are vast in shape and size and frequency. So there are aliens that want to control and enslave the human populace, and that's how we got genetically modified to lose all of our superpowers. However, we are also being guided by a plethora of friendly ET races that have been telepathically communicating with us in our dreams, in our meditations, and transporting us to spaceships to download the ultimate future blueprint of what Earth is to become and shatter the previous paradigm set by reptilian agenda and state of separation and dissociative consciousness, returning us to source.
Brooke, do you think that it was a positive experience that you had? So you think there were good ones that took you because you were gifted?
Well, one of the things we have to realize is that we are mortal beings now, but we are eternal beings having a mortal experience. Mm-hmm. And what people have a hard time understanding is what is required to bond a spirit with a body. Mm-hmm. It requires a resonant DNA, which Geraldine knows a lot about.
Right.
And what's happened is aliens, like she's talking about, controlling aliens, are trying to alter our DNA so it can no longer accommodate our spirits, but it's
Exactly.
more conditioned for their spirits to come in.
Exactly.
Because the most valuable thing in the universe is a mortal experience. Every eternal being wishes for mortal experiences.
Yes.
This is our body, it's our spirit, it's our world. We just need to remember who we are.
Right. Would you like to add anything?
I always say that the most addictive drug in the universe is some people say it's like adrenochrome or whatever, but I say it's being in the human body and falling in love.
Ooh,
That is like the most addictive
sexy.
drug.
It is, because it's shifting you to a higher frequency vibration of love. And what's stronger than love? It
Yeah,
vibrates
exactly.
the shit out of everything.
Right.
And it's all you need.
Real love.
Right.
Heart connection. Yeah.
Well, it's good to raise your vibration and frequency. So we are a combination of 22 different aliens, and that's why that so many different ones are caring about that we're going to go up. And then, so what do you think? Good or bad?
I think the universal administration, that there is very positive races here in the divine plan, and that is the power of love and the Creator. There is an eternal presence, an infinite creative mind, and we are all reflections of that divine essence.
Are there bad ones?
God is everything. God is everything. And within everything, that individual spark is known as the Christ. It's not a person, it's a consciousness, it's an awareness. So the beings that I work with, they say that the earth people, I asked Alon about the various races, and I said, why can't the starseeds come together? Some are fighting against each other, and we're all working towards the same goal of unity, awareness, and truth. He said, Alon, 2,400 years old, walked with Christ in the security and was one of the Magi at his birth. You can read about this information on my website. He said, Rob, he says, each confederation has its agenda. Each planet from that confederation has its agenda. And the protocols for contacting and establishing their communications with their starseeds, who Ismail, I would know, is a reserve corps of volunteers who are coming here in mass at this time to uplift the consciousness field, have our own apperceptions and what we're ready to experience and understand. So each contactee will register their difference, but I can tell you the great heavenly energies, they are very, very positive for the most part extraterrestrials. They have their own lifetimes, and of course they're in other dimensions. My conference is called Angels and ETs in the Multidimensional Omniverse. The word angel means messenger. I'm a postman delivering a message, hand delivered, and voice recorded, and voice messaged to the people. So this message is one of love and hope. They're not concerned about our politics. They want us to understand the nature of the spiritual consciousness and the ascension. As far as the genetics go, 18 million years ago, there were races that, they call it the Syrian shift, where races were going around and genetically hybridizing different beings, kind of without their permission. And the Venusians, who were from Tau Ceti, and they came here 25 million years ago, and the Pleiadians and the Aldebarans came and took over the species and genetically altered the human with the bee. And you can hear how they got their genetics back. It's a pretty wild story, but they're doing it without people's will, or consciousness, or awareness. But they do have in their contacts, if you come down and you're a starseed from that world, if you follow the protocols established by the Venusians, because they're the ones in charge of this area of space, you're allowed to have contacts. And you can, by agreement with that soul, to take their genetics and to work with it. The divine plan, as I understand it, from what I've heard, is for these higher dimensional beings, they do like to come into the physical plane, because the physical plane is the vanguard of spirit. This is where the testing ground of love and power is. So the idea is to transpose angelic functions in the flesh. That's done by the soul contact and the awareness of not this material world or the politics, by developing the power of love by connection to your own soul and your awareness. And as Ismail will talk about, there are very advanced plans, and they're all working together now. They saw tyranny taking place, and they come from the future and all that. So it's mostly good. The bad guys have been routed. It's now up to us to take responsibility. Yes, there's a few crazy human hybrids down here running a show, but they're gonna be gone really soon. There's a multi-pronged aspect of revelation to humanity. The naval intelligence has been given a deadline and timelines to reveal certain things. We're moving into a new financial system. There's a ground command working to change this over. It's not Nasara and Jasara, it's to the people directly. So I can just say there's been some bad apples, and they're being taken care of, and they're neutered. Now it's up to us to work together and to learn from all of these people.
Thank you, Robert. Ishmael, let me get more specific. Are there any grays left, reptilians left, Draco left, that are evil, that we have to worry about, or are they getting people out of the deep tunnels still? You know, I've heard on We the People, Mary, what is that? On rumble.com, you type in We the People, and she brings on Valiant Thor every now and then, but Robert says it's not him. But he talks about clearing out the tunnels that's still left, and he got injured and is healing and whatever. But are there anybody left? Is there anybody left, or are they chasing him out? Or
That's a very good question. The answer to that is there was a few remaining that survived the expunging of our solar system when the Guardian Alliance and the super soldiers in the last few years who pretty much eliminated any of the active members of the NNA, Negative Alien Agenda Syndicate. A few of them were able to kind of hide in the underground, and that explains why Putin is cleaning house in the Ukraine. So on a surface level, it seems like Putin is really fighting NATO and the globalist agenda, but on a deeper level, he's actually, his soldiers, along with some of the super soldiers, are actually warring the last bit of these negative syndicate gray / whatever reptilians that are still trying to hide out deep in the underground in that region of the world. So that's what's going on in Russia, by the way. It's not really just a geopolitical war. It's a battle taking place. It's a space war taking place in the underground between us, the Earth Alliance, and of course the remaining Greys and a few of the Dracos that are still lurking within our underground network. So other than that, like Robert here stated, for the most part, we have cleaned house in the galaxy. There are no negative aliens out there. And as I speak right now, thanks to our super soldiers, by the way, our super soldiers are the heroes in our galaxy. Yeah, thank you. I know we cleaned house. We have the most advanced genetics. Once we are genetically enhanced to use more than the 4%, which is what we, I guess, typically use. We don't even use 10%, guys. We've been using only 4%. We develop amazing super godlike abilities. So I'm talking about X-Men, Superman abilities. I'm talking about, if you guys saw the latest DC movie with The Rock Johnson, I forget about that movie, not Shazam. He's wearing a black thing. Black Adam, yes. We're talking about that. So, I mean...
Are you a super soldier?
I'm an Ultra Soldier, yes. Off-world program. Radiant Guardians, division of the Column 5, working with the Metagalactic Core of the Interdimensional Council of the Emerald Order.
In Vegas, September event, Las Vegas Biomed Expo, an alien event, September 14th, 17, you speaking. Let's put you on a panel with SSPs.
That would be lovely.
Good.
Yes. I'm getting a lot
Good.
of my memories back.
Audience, go to alienevent.com. We have a 4-day event,
Yeah.
September 14th, 17.
Vegas.
Eric is going to run the event too. Alienevent.com.
Inshallah.
Robert, you're not invited. No. You are Palladian.
Yeah. That's why I love Ishmael so much. I love the answers and how he thinks and says, it's
Yeah, he puts it the right way. Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely.
Not everybody can land this
Let
project.
me remember what I'm trying to ask, okay? Because they did get rid of, and I wanted to say something else, but I was interrupted in my train of thought. Well, how about I'll come back to you right after I think about it. Let me. What I want to ask you, though, I remember still, is what can you share with us from your military experience that you feel? Can you share anything with the?
So I have a lot to say, but I'm not a whistleblower, and I
Just
share
whatever
my
you can share.
experiences. I definitely know that there is an extraterrestrial threat that they were afraid of. I don't know anything about. Everybody's like saying, this is over, they're done. I hope so. I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that if we're going to mature as a species, we have to take individual action. So my encouragement is that gnosis. We have to experience these things ourselves. If you believe in extraterrestrials, contact them. If you believe in God, touch the face of God. What Julia spoke about and experiencing love as one of the greatest addictions. It's not sexual, David. It's tantra. And that's why I wanted sexual experts at this
my
conference.
apologies, yeah.
When I said to David, we need like sex therapists here, he's like, no sex stuff, Ryan. But in truth, if we're talking about two things here, we're talking about God and we're talking about extraterrestrials. If you want to experience God, that's through Tantra, one of the ways. So use those mechanisms and you will experience God and the feeling of love and that beauty. And that is 100% certainty. And then if you want to experience extraterrestrials, learn how to channel, and there's ways to do that.
That's what
But
we gotta learn,
It's
yeah.
very important that people stop just listening to other people and they experience themselves. If you want to be mature as a species, you have to act. You have to experience and you have to know, not believe. And if all you're doing is just believing, you're still doing it wrong and you're not growing up yet. Now, when this guy says he's a super soldier, he looks like he does some push-ups. I'm sold, dude. You look like a super soldier.
He is. Yeah.
Right?
Even past lives, many lives. I can read
I
his
remembered what I wanted to say. Let me just get it out of my
Nice,
mind
my
so I
time.
can go on, okay? There was a video of Gene Decode. He showed the Ukrainians fighting, the Russians fighting aliens.
No
And
way.
at first, I swear, I thought it was fake. And then I was like, whoa! So look for that video that Gene Decode was showing of them actually fighting aliens in Russia.
In America, we have to, but they delete them.
Excuse me. What they're not telling us is there's an underground complex, like 7 pyramids in a row, and it's
Right.
all underground, and it goes
Exactly.
all the way to the Arctic Circle, and there's a lot of activity down there that they've been chasing out, and so, I believe that we're surrounded by the Antarctic Circle, and there's when you leave this ice wall, that's where you're really going to see these different Mars and Sirius and Venus, because there's maps. If you look at Nos Confunden maps, NOS Confunden, CONFUNDEN. I bought the books. They're amazing maps, and it's really making sense to me. What we see is a reflection off the dome of these places. So it's really making sense to me, and it's coming out.
Eric,
But yes,
so-
what did you want to say?
Eric, I want to ask you a question. Eric, I want to ask you a question. Don't you think trading with even negative ET is better than fighting them?
No. No, I don't do business with.
Robert, what about you? Do you think that? Hold on.
I think.
Don't you?
Look, the government has been having relations and they're keeping it secret. So the lid's about to blow off and everyone's going to know the
Don't you
truth.
think they can destroy us?
They don't. They're not.
Prime
They're
directive.
held at bay by the forces of light. They always have been. There have been a certain covenants and agreements that legally gave the world invited the Anunnaki in, and their covenants expired, and all of these various frequencies are being changed. So you had one more question for him.
I did see another video on TikTok of an Anunnaki mothership going through this really weird portal that I'd never seen before with 3 different rings.
No way.
And and they were like told to leave and get out. So, yes, please.
Oh, okay. So to add to what I was saying earlier, so not only have we cleansed house here in our galaxy, and we restored and brought balance to a lot of the star systems that were under the absolute control and enslavement of the negative, alien agenda, but we've also brought through branches of the Radiant Guardian teams. We've also brought peace and harmony to many galaxies. Andromeda is one of them. And a lot of the negative entities that we were actually fighting in other universes weren't even draconian, guys. Do you guys want to know what we're really fighting out there in the multiverse? It's artificial intelligence. Yeah, cybernetic, ontological, silicon-based DNA type of beings.
Hybrids.
No, they're not even hybrids. They have no soul. They're advanced computers that are just light years away of the AI system that we are developing. You know, we think Siri is, you know, or you know that what's her name, Sophia, by Hanson Mechanics. It doesn't even compare to the types of artificial intelligences that have developed in other universes. I mean, these.
You mean Siri?
Siri.
Well, DARPA has them already.
Siri and Alexa.
Sophia. So, well, Sophia is the android,
Who's Sophia?
right? Sophia was
You don't know
Oh,
Sophia?
yes, I know now. I know now.
Robotics and
The first one.
the first one to gain citizenship in Saudi Arabia, by the way. And I heard she also was instrumental in the development of
Well,
the global-
DARPA has all the stuff you're saying already in America.
It's from the antimatter universe, but they have been cut off from the quantum system.
Yeah.
If you're going to speak into the microphone so we have it
Okay,
for the home audience.
So the whole point is that there are these things called intergalactic tribunals that are taking place, and they have been since 2018 because of the work that Radiant Guardians and Sword Warden have been doing across the multiverse. That's all I just wanted to say.
Nice.
Who's next?
Let's go back to
Bravo.
Can I-
Awesome.
Can I just ask, because a lot of people are saying that this is a done deal, but we're still in a digital prison. We still have 15-minute cities. We still have AI going rogue. We still have tyrannical governments. We have it eating bugs and owning nothing. We have all of this stuff still rolling ahead, but we're all still saying that the battle's over. I don't think the battle's over. I think we might actually have to do something, not just talk about it.
That's an excellent point. And what I think is that they want us to wake up to see what they were planning to do to us. And we want to catch the peons that are left. So, yes. So, what do you think about that, Geraldine?
Which part exactly?
There. Well, whatever you want to add on to everything we've talked about.
Yeah, so the way I look at things is a little bit more from an organic perspective, in which the nature of this entire construct of our reality is based on duality. So as long as we are embodied in the physical and have experiencing this dimensional consciousness, this dimension with our conscious awareness, we will experience duality. So, and that's part of the human, but we're learning how to do that interdimensionally in as many dimensions as we can, therefore uncovering things like, these gentlemen are talking about. And I think that the key is that each human begins to activate their higher faculties in order to be able to discern what is the light, what is the dark, be able to navigate and experience those things. I think that's really the key, and I want to take it back home for you to go inside rather than be distracted by the external things that are happening, because in reality, the way that you actually cause a shift in this dimension is by the activation of your own faculties, your own vortex spin activating of yourself. So, we need to learn how to navigate our own lucid dreaming, interdimensional experiences, and in order to understand all these things in a profound way. So
Nice.
that's how I see it.
Excellent, I agree. You have to hold that space and shine so everyone else, then the light bulb goes on, the 100th monkey, the 200,000 light.
Eric, can you stand on the podium, please? You're the panelist. Because you're in light, the
Thank you.
cameras cannot take your light in front of you.
It's okay, it's okay.
Well, for the
Relax.
video,
Mr.
Dennis,
Facebook thing? or
Dennis is videoing you.
camera? Okay. Thank you. So, they were doing these solar. I heard they were out in space. They were child trafficking and sex trade, and and we.
That was the ICC.
That was the ICC, and we stopped
Well, they're
the
called
dark.
the Omega Fleet.
The Mega Fleet.
Yeah, Corey Good made up the term Dark Fleet.
Hold on.
They're actually called the Omega Fleet.
Is Corey a good agent?
Just, when somebody says something, I just want to talk to the microphone. We'll go back to you right now.
Okay, so a lot of
I
these
just want to get it on.
these breakaway groups, their names are actually a little different. Yes, Solar Warden is called Solar Warden. Thank you. But the pact that was established between the Nazis and the NNA are actually known as the Omega Fleets. And the reason they're called the Omega Fleets is because above all the negative regressives, we have this AI menace that they answer to as their AI god. So I've come to discover, not only through my own memories as an ultra soldier fighting in these multiverse scenarios, but his real name is Sorian Omega. So that's why they're known as the Omega fleets. And what they did to upgrade or to genetically enhance their German soldiers is that they were the first ones to go transhuman. They became the first cyborgs. So they're called, they're working with the god of all the negative ETs that they all answer to. And anyways, I just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you. I just want to make sure anybody who makes a comment, please wait for the microphone so we can get this on. Okay, like we were talking about AI. I call it AI.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. There's good and bad at everything. Okay, there's good AI and there's bad AI. I know it helps me because the first time when I was a little kid, I pulled a slot machine and I won. You know, and I know, and when I thought as a kid green, it turned green. You know, so I know there's a positive AI. What do you want to say? Is it good, bad? Anything you want to add to what we've been talking about?
Well, Elon Musk is pretty well known for saying that AI is one of the biggest threats to humanity once it gets in the hands of wrong people, especially with frequency control.